Jackson gave me the news of a planet far away. And Colonel O'Neill will assemble a team that will try to save the day. Dr. Sam has a master plan and a science attitude. And the job for Teal, he's part of the deal with his trusty go-out. It's just a regular day at Stargate Command, and it might be hard to understand.
Chevron 1 encoded. Chevron 2 encoded. Chevron 3 encoded. Chevron 4 encoded. Oh no, this is gonna happen. Chevron 5 encoded. Chevron 6 encoded. Chevron 7 flies. We have a stable world.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Three Fries Short. I'm your co-fry, Sarah.
I'm your co-fry, Cristina.
And I am your co-fry, Rebecca.
We're back with an episode review thing.
Whoa. Thing. Episode review thing.
Of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
So on the docket today, we are talking about Season 3, Episode 14, which is Foothold. But before we get into this amazing episode, we have a very exciting announcement to make.
Wait, can we jump in the fry box for it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
Yes,
do it. Jump in.
Short, cause we're three fries short.
Okay. Would anybody like to read the verbiage, the very legally approved?
I'm gonna let you read it, Sarah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Our lawyers.
You did
that
secure the package for us, so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you know, Rebecca announced in a previous episode, I don't know which one, that the companion is hosting an event with Amanda Tapping. And as a way to give back to our listeners, we're doing a giveaway for the event run by our friends at the companion, Amanda Tapping Embracing Mental Health as a Fandom. So Amanda was so touched by how many of us were willing to show her support for the good cause. She asked for 2 more intimate and exclusive green room video calls, which will take place after the live interview. Tickets sold out in 3 hours. That's for the main event, right, Rebecca? The main
The private, like not private, but the small group things.
Yeah, so like the first batch of tickets sold out.
The first batch of tickets sold out in less than 48 hours. Those were 20 tickets. And so then Amanda was gracious and added 2 more sessions, which meant 10 more tickets. And those sold out yesterday in yesterday in 3 hours. So
Wow.
Yeah. And guess what? We managed to snag one. I was on the trigger. My card wouldn't work at first. I was sweating. I'm like, I know I have money. What's happening? So
Bonnie was going to get pulled in as support last minute.
Bonnie, get the Discover card. We need your help.
Exactly what it was.
I mean, y'all are really
Listen
MVPs because originally it was me and my life would turn upside down. So I love y'all because I'm just coasting right now. Y'all are
gonna do it too.
Float.
She's like, go get my purse.
Oh, that's so sweet.
True MVP. So if you are interested in finding out how to enter this giveaway, we already posted, and by we I mean Rebecca, MVP of Instagram, has posted the outlines for the giveaway. It's very simple. It's no strings attached. It's very easy. So check out our post on Instagram for more details.
Yeah.
And then we are planning to choose the winner on our next episode.
Mm-hmm.
So right now
will likely be next Sunday.
Yeah. So like
probably
it's Tuesday night right now. We'll have this episode out like ASAP
tomorrow.
Pretty much. Yeah. We'll drop this one early and then we'll record again this weekend and announce, because then the event is the following weekend. So we'll record the weekend of the 27th, 28th, and then June 3rd is that following Saturday.
Yeah. Just got nervous again.
You got this.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fantastic.
I'm excited about it. And I'm excited we can do this for people. I think, you know, all of us check in with each other regularly about mental health and like how we're doing, and we've taken breaks before for it. We take it very seriously. It's very important. Obviously, this session with Amanda is no substitute for like any kind of clinical help, but hopefully it can help you see if you're in this fandom that there are a lot of people and there's a lot of support and like peer support within the fandom. So,
yep. So, and to be clear, this ticket is for the intimate, like breakaway.
yes, included in it is also your ticket to the live stream, the live stream before. If you don't win this ticket and you still want to go to the live stream, if you are not a companion member, it's $20, and all this money is primarily going to a mental health charity. Like, so it's all going to a really good cause, a really good place. Amanda wouldn't take anything for it. So,
queen of our hearts, truly.
So if you want to do the live event and watch me implode on the inside while I'm interviewing Amanda Tapping on the outside,
pay amazing.
$20, and you can go to, I should have set this up, but www.jointhegreenroom.com. Let me see if I can create that really quick. Jointhegreenroom.com. Yeah, scroll that. There we go.
Perfect.
Boom.
Excellent. Oh, look at us. We're so professional.
Look at it. Technology. So if you don't win the ticket and you still want to come to the hour-long live event, which I highly recommend, I think we're going to have a good time. I've got a lot of things planned, a lot of tips and tricks and stories and all sorts of things. Go to jointhegreenroom.com and get yourself a live stream ticket. And sign up for a wait list there too. If you there are more people other than Amanda Tapping that are coming to the green room, and we're very excited about it. So if you want to be notified about all of that, just sign up for the wait list while you're there.
Amazing.
That's
so
my
exciting.
Producer spiel.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, now Sarah, you've got to read the whole thing, right?
Wait, what?
No, or is that what you? Oh, the note was because that's what you put on Instagram.
Yes.
My note's the Instagram note. So yeah,
this is
follow the instructions on Instagram. It's really simple though. It's a like, a comment, and a follow.
Yeah.
If you do all three of those things and you follow the instructions on the comment, you are automatically entered then to possibly win this ticket. So it's not a complicated raffle or anything. Yeah, basically the comment is tell us why you would really like to go to that. Because I just kind of want to hear. Like,
listen, our Instagram's kind of a fun place. Like, we've been posting really silly memes and shit lately. Charlie Daniels and Natu. Boo, tomato. Like,
yeah. It's a lot of cool stuff there. I'm trying to make it even more fun and even better. So everybody should join us over there. It's a good time.
Speaking of memes, I sent you guys kind of like one of that meme where it's like this episode out of context. Like, I've kind of seen them before. So you have that. You want to?
Oh, you want to go ahead? You want to go ahead and throw it up,
or should we wait? Okay, here we go.
We're doing it.
Here we go. What do we got?
Like, I get two of them, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. Okay, hold on. I think we need to have it thrown up so people can be thinking about it. Anybody that's actually watching this in the future, or the one person who's probably a significant other of one of you watching us right now. So they have something to think about while they're listening to us. So here it is. Here's the thing. The top left is just...
I mean...
Listen, when I worked in my old job that aged me, the one shitty thing that I had that kept me sane was a radio, because I had to be in the office. But that radio, I swear to God, it played so many Maroon 5 songs. I was done. I was so done. And this was also the time where like the whole thing about Adam Levine cheating on his wife came out. And I was like, I've had it. So that's the only reason I know that song.
Has everyone committed these 4 to your memory? All those people out there who are incapable of replying to me, have you committed these to your memory? I will take your silence as a yes.
Now or forever hold your peace.
Should we just cruise through the notes and discussion, and then at the end bring it back up to explain?
We'll bring it back up to talk about it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Are we ready to get into this episode? I love this episode.
Let's get into it.
Do it.
So, what are your first impressions? Like, what do you guys think about it? Was it a good one? Do you wish we had
It's a good adventure romp to me. That's what it feels like to me.
It's like campy feel good. Like I don't find anything.
And I do enjoy a good something's wrong, not on a different world episode. Like things are wrong on Earth or at the SGC.
Yes.
Because you get to involve all these characters that oftentimes you don't get to see that much of otherwise. So
Yeah.
some fan favorites and also some very hated, and sometimes both. One person has both. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that it was an Earth contained episode. There's really good ones that are Earth contained that are very memorable, where you don't go off world, but it's a great episode. Like A Matter of Time is another one that I think of that comes to mind. I also like that we get a Sam Teal'c team up. Even though it's kind of brief, I love that pairing. They work so well together, and they share that special kind of like, we've got the special Gould like immunities or whatever. So
they also match each other's energy really well, which I feel like you notice more later. There's like season 8, I think, when they have to go like help Thor out with the replicators, and it's just the two of them. It's the very beginning of season 8. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like in the ship together, and she's like, "I'll make you a sandwich." Like she's trying to do small talk with him.
I mean, eventually they had a whole.
Oh yes, we've
life?
talked about Rebecca's. I don't even think it's headcanon anymore, though. I'm pretty sure that's confirmed. So.
Oh yeah.
You forever colored the way that I look, and I'm not going to be able to watch that again. The same.
No, I really
yeah,
did it. I
that's what I'm
did
think of it.
Vicky in too. Vicky,
Yeah.
if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry, actually.
I don't hate it.
That is epically just like tragic in its own way, and it's
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has to live with that.
Oh God. I don't
That's how
hate
you
that
feel.
pairing.
No, I don't either. Like
as
when
much
I
as a
the energies
shipper.
work really well together. Like
Yeah, as much as a shipper of Sam Jack that I am, I don't hate it. Also, we have Colin Cunningham returning as Major Davis, Bestie,
our buddy
and then Tom Macbeth returns as Colonel Mayborn. So we get some of these periphery characters back in. That makes for a good time. So let's dive in. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Our episode opens in the gate room. SG-1 are returning from a mission. They briefly mention how they were looking for Keb and the Harcesis child, but it was a dead end. And they're wearing ponchos, they're all wet, and Jack will not shut up about it. He's constantly bitching about it.
What?
Yeah, he's got mushrooms growing out of his ears. He's wet. He's being such a drama queen. He's like shaking himself like a dog. Like, chill, sir. Like, you have a poncho. You're not even that wet. Like, if you had a poncho on, maybe your shoes are squishing, which would piss anybody
maybe it
off.
had holes in it. You never know.
Yeah. So Hammond is waiting for them at the end of the gate ramp, and he just orders them to the infirmary. And in the elevator, there's a fellow airman. He's escorting them as a safety precaution because there was a chemical spill on level 23. Let me see if I can get this right. Tetrachloroethylene rupture.
I'm impressed. Yeah.
I practiced.
Good technobabble.
So the level was sealed off, and the hazmat crew is cleaning it up right now. So Dr. Fraser is doing the standard after-mission medical exam. They have to get all their shots in their butts. Now, this is my question to you, Rebecca. Why would you need a shot in the butt after hypothetically going to another planet? Is it tetanus? Is it just like a general...
I don't know what shot. I mean, what shot recently have you had in the butt? Because most of the shots I've had recently have been in the arm.
The last time I had one in the butt was like 10 years ago. And when I was like really sick, and they were like straight in the butt.
I used to get B12 shots in the butt.
Why the butt? What is there like a...
I don't know. There's nothing we carried on the ambulance that we gave it like shot in the butt. It was always like either in the arm or like on the top of the thigh. So, yeah, or through an IV. So
interesting.
I don't know.
So,
I'm sure it's some kind of antiviral cocktail, though. Like when you say you're traveling to certain places on Earth, even and they're like, "Hey, these are the shots we recommend you get." Blah blah blah. It's probably like one of those like after the fact.
Is it because if it's like a heavier, thicker needle, like it's less because there's more meat on the butt, like it's not as painful to get it there?
I don't know. I'm gonna give it a goog while we can continue on.
Listen,
but
I don't think they care about comfort. Like, you're getting a shot. Like, I don't think they're gonna care. Like, oh, we'll do it in the butt because it'll hurt less. Like, I don't know. I don't think
it's because apparently just doctors and nurses can often choose it for drugs that are indicated for IM, intramuscular injection, because it's a large muscle with large amount of muscle mass, but it's also safe because there are a few nerves and large blood vessels passing through. So
that makes
it's
sense.
easy, basically. I guess if they really do just want to do quick jab and go, then like the butt, that'll do it, you know.
the glutes are hard to miss.
Yep.
So and they're not. This is not an unexpected thing for them. It's what.
Oh, Adam.
Hello,
Yeah,
welcome to our conversation about butts.
It's a
Shots
very
in the
awkward
butt.
time to arrive.
I'm
Well,
gonna embarrass him here and let everyone know he is an ass man. Okay, like
you gotta. I mean,
he's
I
a
get
boot.
it.
And listen,
It's all right.
Man,
Nothing wrong with the booty.
You thought it was an awkward moment.
now
it really is.
It really is. So yeah, okay.
Focus, everyone. Focus.
So they're not this is not unexpected for them. This all seems very routine. Great, now Ergo's putting his
Ergo,
butt
your
in the
episode is
camera.
in 2 episodes. Can you just calm down? We'll
We
get
don't
to
need
yours.
your butt. Okay.
We're
not
very
talking
close to yours.
So we hear an announcement on the loudspeaker, and it says, "Attention all levels, contaminated material transfer in progress. Please remain at your post until notified. This will come into play later." So a nurse approaches O'Neill with a syringe, and he's such a drama. He's like bitching so much. And he just looks at her, he's like, "Listen, really jam it in there this time."
When I was watching that scene this time, I now feel like 95% sure that was Richard Dean Anderson just like saying that, and he wasn't even supposed to in the scene, because you can kind of see him stop for a minute, like he's like, "Oh, I got one." Like that's what it kind of feels like in the scene. So go back and watch it, and you'll be like,
Yeah,
I think I see that moment where like the gears start turning in his
Ad-lib.
head. Yep.
I do love that, and I like the fact that the orderly giving the shot, she's this like really tiny short lady, almost, and she like gives the vibe of like she's a dom. Like she's like, "Yes, bend over so I can shove this needle in your ass right now. Like you're gonna listen to me." So while they're doing this, the curtains are pulled between their beds, and they're talking, like they're chit-chatting all about the Harcesis child through the curtains. You need to chill, son. Please lay down. Like, he's so needy.
For those of you out in audio land, you can imagine what's happening right now because it's happened so many other times. And that is Ergo.
Ergo wanting to be right there with his mama.
He loves his pets. He likes to rub his face on the microphone.
He definitely is our fourth co-fry.
Oh,
he's like always there.
He makes a lot of appearances. Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, sorry, back to, I don't want to prolong this anymore. So they're chit-chatting about the Harcesis child. As Sam poses the thought, but nobody replies. She says something about like, they're talking about like the memory, the genetic memory of the kid. And Fraser tells her to just relax, and she gives Sam a shot, and she passes out. And Fraser very sinisterly says, "Let's begin." And all the curtains are pulled back, and all of SG-1 has been sedated. What is going on? Also, if anyone noticed, everyone on SG-1 except for Sam is laying on the bed normally, except for poor Sam, who's like flopped over. Like,
I didn't pay attention. No,
like it's just like, damn, they did my girl dirty. Like they couldn't even get her fully on. So she's just like flopped over the side. So we have our opening credits. We cut to Teal'c. He is laying on the gurney and he's waking up, but very like stealthily. He's like, "I'm not just gonna get up. I need to like see what's going on." Sam is lying next to him on her own gurney. He overhears Dr. Fraser talking in the hallway. So we have some dialogue. There's Fraser, Hammond, and then there's some kind of like
who is it?
Narration dialogue in there too.
Who do you want, Rebecca?
I'll do Hammy this time.
Okay, I'll take Fraser.
And then I'll do like the narrator.
Okay, so Fraser, she's off camera. It must have something to do with alien symbiote within him. And then
Teal can see through the opening in the curtain. Dr. Fraser, General Hammond, and Sergeant Seiler are standing just outside.
It took an extremely large dose just to sedate him in the first place.
Behind Seiler, Teal sees an alien. The alien appears to be wearing some kind of armor, its face simply a mask.
What's the problem with the human?
The camera pans to a fully exposed alien. It is breathing heavily as though wearing a filter. It also kind of looks like a humanoid roach.
Her body chemistry has been altered. It is related to her prior infestation by the dominant parasitical species of this galaxy.
Is there a way to compensate?
I haven't found it yet.
To Seiler, Hammond says, place them in a holding cell. And then to Fraser, once the invasion is complete, you may study them further. Only then will we know if this is a viable new homeworld.
Oh, they've been compromised. There's aliens in the SGC. Hammond and Fraser are in on it. What the hell's happening? You see like these not regular, they don't look regular, but you see these alien creatures standing next to them, and Hammond is like, we're invading. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's happening? So also, I added in there, these like aliens kind of look like humanoid roaches to me.
Yeah. They also look kind of either roach-like or aquatic. Like some kind of crustacean, maybe.
Like a horseshoe crab.
Something like that. Yeah, which is still technically roach-like, I guess. So
yeah. The roaches of the sea, unless that's like insulting to horseshoe crabs. I don't know. So Teal pretends to be sedated and he's wheeled away by Seiler. We hear that announcement over the intercom again. Attention all levels, contaminated material transfer in progress. Please remain at your post until notified. And it seems like this is code for, hey, we're transporting people. Stay the fuck out of the hallways. And they're using that chemical spill as a reason to like keep people out of the hallways.
Mm-hmm.
So the same airman in the elevator as before asked if they're taking Teal to level 23, but he is going to level 16. So what is happening on level 23 for real? Is it a chemical spill for real? What's happening? The elevator opens. Teal'c makes his move. He punches Seiler and he wheels him away on the gurney.
This is the whole reason Seiler was in this entire like sequence. Like if you see Seiler in it, you probably should know some kind of stunt or fight is happening soon. Mm-hmm. Like that. Like as soon as you see him, Dan Shea, that's his name. Right?
He's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, he's gonna get hurt. Yep.
So he wheels him away on the gurney and just shoves him in a random room. I don't know what room, but some closet somewhere. And he heads to the armory. He gets some guns, ammo, and a Zat. So now he waits by the elevator for them to bring Sam. He's like, I know she's on the way. She's kind of the same as me, so they're going to bring her to the same place. And as soon as they wheel her through, he shoots the orderly with the Zat, knocks out the elevator concierge, and wheels Sam back into the elevator and wakes her up. Mm-hmm. So she's still really messed up from the sedative they gave her. She didn't wake up on, like, Teal'c woke up on his own. He had to wake her up, which I'm sure it was wearing off on her. Because if you're sedated like that, I don't think people can just wake you up by shaking you. Like, if you have a chemical, like a medicine in you that's making you sedated, it's going to either have to wear off or they'll have to, like, give you something to wake you up.
Yeah, it had to have been wearing off. But I mean, Teal'c's just, his symbiote probably definitely gives him the one up on all that. So,
yeah. So they need more info and to see what happened to Jack and Daniel because they don't know where they are. And they head to the security surveillance room with all of the monitors and stuff. This is my favorite room in Giant when I worked at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. The security room with all the cameras. I'd have to check the cameras for stuff sometimes. It was wild.
I like when she knocks on the door and the person attending the cameras. It's like, who is it? She's like, it's locked.
Why did she have to do that?
She just look like, no, it isn't. I guess she wanted to just like, they wanted to like, maybe if there were more than one person in there or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Take them by surprise. Mm-hmm. So there's an announcement for incoming travelers. They find the screen for the gate room. More of the roach aliens arrive. Hammond, Daniel, and Jack are greeting them. So they believe that they're imposters because Teal'c is like, Colonel O'Neill and Daniel Jackson would not greet such aliens so calmly, or something like that. So they're like, this is not them. Like, there's some kind of imposter shit going on. So Sam and Teal'c grab their coats. They head for an emergency exit. And Sam poses the question, how do we know we're the only ones who haven't been replaced? There is no way to know. Certain SGC members are imposters, but not all of them are. Some may still be regular personnel who have no idea what's happening. But if Hammond has been compromised, they can't trust anyone. So not only are they like, well, shit, there's an active invasion happening, but like, who are our people and who are the aliens?
Mm-hmm.
Like the person in the security room, probably just a regular, well, maybe not. If they're in their security room watching the aliens, probably not a
Yeah, they probably had to
regular
replace
person.
her pretty early on, I would assume.
But some of these other people that we see kind of like doing combat with Sam or Teal'c, they're regular SGC people that really think there was a chemical spill. So they head for the exit tunnel, but the bodies in the elevator have been discovered and the alarms sound. In that moment, Teal'c decides to stay back and buy more time for Sam to escape. Because they're like, shit, the jig is up. And we have this really great moment. It's like such good teamwork. She's like, keep him busy as long as you can. I'll come back for you. And Teal'c is like, he takes off his jacket and like shoves it in the tunnel to like make it look like he wasn't escaping or like going anywhere. He's like, of that I am certain.
That I am certain.
It's like, break. Okay, team, break. So yeah, he explained, I don't know if I skipped that paragraph, but he explained what happened with, he saw the alien incursion, like he saw them in their natural form, so he knows that there's aliens here, and something's going on. I don't think Sam had seen any of the aliens at this point. She's just going off of what Teal'c said. So Teal'c takes off, he knocks out 2 more airmen and notices that the blood is red. This reinforces the theory that not all of the personnel are aliens, although aliens can have red blood. That is an impossibility, but anyway, they take a note to like show it. You're muted, Rebecca.
It's because I had to take the avocado thing off. It was getting too hot. I said it was the right viscosity too, you know.
Oh yeah, he was like smearing it in his fingers. So he's inspecting the 2 men that he took out. Another approaches and he fired a pistol at Teal'c, which actually he gets Teal'c. He shoots Teal'c in his bicep. And then he turns around and shoots this guy with his Zat twice.
I like how Teal'c gets shot and he's just like, he turns around like somebody
annoyed.
Swatted him or something.
Yeah, he's like annoyed by it.
He gets shot and he's just like, stop that.
Yeah. So he shoots the guy who shoots Teal'c. He shoots that guy twice with a Zat. We never find out if that was an alien or if that was an SGC personnel. If so, that sucks. Like, that sucks ass if he shot, like, it was like friendly fire.
I guess the one assumption you could make, hoping that it isn't an SGC personnel, is that he was using a gun and not a Zat.
Yeah.
Maybe you could make that hopeful assumption. So
we never know. So I guess let's just assume that it was an alien. We'll assume the best.
Blame everything on the aliens. It's always them.
Exactly. So we cut to Sam. She is climbing out of the escape tunnel and runs off into the woods. She's looking rough, still feeling the effects of the sedatives, like the sedatives. Oh my god, I'm having a stroke. The sedatives. So it's like she climbs out of the tunnel and she's just like, you can see it on her face. She's like,
also
oh
probably what, like how she just had to climb like up a ladder, like
that
23
sucks.
levels or something, 22 levels. Yeah.
So another grocery
maybe
store.
16. They were on 16. I can't remember what level they were on, but it was a lot.
Another grocery store story for you. So when I was the manager, we had to go around and do like our temp checks, and like I had to go, it's really creepy room upstairs where like all of the switchboards are for the like outlets and shit to make sure that the freezers are running. And there was a hatch to the roof. And if we had contractors come out to fix stuff, it was locked. You had to keep it locked. And you had to climb this spooky fucking ladder and then unlock it or lock it. So if I had to lock it, if there was some contractor there and they left, I had to make sure it was secured. And the lock was the kind where like you had to keep the key in it and twist it to lock it. So like I'm up there holding on to the ladder with one arm, trying to lock this key. So and it was kind of like halfway enclosed, and then the rest of it was open. But I can kind of relate to like climbing that kind of shit sucks. It's not fun.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. Hold on.
So Teal'c is taking out people left and right because like he's busting through, but they block him into a corridor and they use a bug bomb essentially to knock him out. It looks like they just toss it in and it smokes up like one of those bug bombs and he's done. They got him. We cut to Sam. She's in a city somewhere and she's
at an airport somewhere.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
For real?
It pans over from domestic departures, but it is unclear where she. You don't know where she is.
No,
it is an airport. Yep.
No idea. So she's at a payphone.
Payphones.
When those were a thing.
Let's just take a moment for payphones.
Do they even exist anymore?
I think so in random places. However, over 10 years ago when I was trying to find one for a short film in town, we had to like look up where one was.
Wow. Yeah. And that was it's 2013. That's still like wow. So we got the dialogue between Carter and Mayborn. Do you guys want to take that?
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
You know
which one do you want?
Cristina?
Yeah. I'll
Carter.
do Mayborn. Do Mayborn.
You get to be Skeezy Mayborn.
Yes.
He's you love to hate him though. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is Major Samantha Carter. We have a foothold situation.
Major Carter, where are you?
She looks over her shoulder and sees another woman at the payphone. Carter walks to the side, attempting to be secretive.
I can't tell you that, sir. If memory serves, there's an outdoor cafe outside NID headquarters.
In DC?
4:00.
Checks my watch. I'm gonna need a little bit more time than that.
I repeat, we have a foothold situation.
Major, you're way outside your appropriate chain of command.
I have a reason to believe that may be compromised, sir.
Understood.
So I looked up because I wanted to know if foothold was a real military term. I could not find anything that would indicate that it was. I just kept finding like definitions of foothold, and I'm like, I have a dictionary app for that. I don't want to know the definition. I want to know like the context.
It's very sensical, the term for like because when you gain a foothold somewhere or something, like So it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like a conversation of war. Like, okay, you got the foothold here. Like, that's how you got a foothold, and then you go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So on Gate World, the definition of foothold situation was an emergency situation within the SGC where alien incursion has taken over Cheyenne Mountain Complex and is using it as a beachhead for further conquest.
And they use beachhead in season 9.
Yes. So
in the episode entitled
Beachhead.
Not so obvious.
Really creative with his names.
Foothold, beachhead. Oh, goodness. Throw some creativity in there, okay?
I mean, if you don't know what that means, it's kind of interesting. Like, ooh, we're going to the beach?
That's fair.
Fair.
Nope. No, we're not.
We are, but not in the way you want to be.
No. Not in the fun way.
Nope.
So we cut back to the SGC. Teal'c is in the infirmary in restraints. Frasier approaches him.
In quotations for anyone who can't see out
Frasier.
there.
Quote Frasier.
Quote Frasier.
So
Frasier.
We've got Frasier. Imposter Frasier. We have Frasier, Hammond, and Teal'c. I'll grab the Teal'c.
I got Frasier.
I will stay Mr. Hammy.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Hey Teal'c, how are you feeling? And then he sits up looking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, He sits up, looking at the leather straps holding him down.
You went a little crazy on us, so we had to sedate you. SG-1 was exposed to chemical fumes from the spill. You became delusional and attacked several people trying to escape from the base.
We're missing a section in here.
Uh-oh.
Amy comes up and he says, Has Dr. Fraser filled you in? And Teal'c goes, Indeed she has, or something like that. And then Hammond goes, Good. So now we're back on track.
Okay.
We're hoping you can tell us where Major Carter is.
She also had an adverse reaction to the chemical. One of the side effects is hallucinations, paranoia. Your symbiote protects you from a lot of things, Teal'c, but apparently not tetrachloroth. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to do it. I wasn't prepared. Tetrachloroethylene?
That's pretty close, yeah. Yeah, that works.
Tetrachloroethylene.
Tetrachloroethylene. It's like
Ethylene.
three.
Ethylene. Tetrachloroethylene.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to say it fast.
They should have just shortened it to TCE or something by the end of this episode, but
they're lazy with coming up for other names. Why not here?
All right, back to the dialogue at hand. Where is she?
Teal'c says, I do not know.
Teal'c, if she doesn't receive medical attention soon, she's going to get worse. I won't lie to you. She could die.
Let the gaslighting begin.
Boom, boom.
Teal'c, did he really see what he thought he saw? Were there really aliens? Was he just hallucinating from the tetrachloroethylene spill? Who knows? So we cut to DC because Sam has fast traveled and is scoping out the area.
So boom, right there.
We see Mayborn and approaches, or she sees Mayborn. So, okay, for real though, we were kind of talking about this before you came on, Cristina. How she grabbed her coat, so maybe she has a wallet. I don't know. How did she get there so quickly?
It was also nighttime when she left the SGC, and it is 4:00 in DC when she meets Mayborn.
Yeah, so she's got time.
It's about, I would say, 5-hour flight.
So as someone who's been flying coast to coast, it's about so it's 6 hours from San Francisco with a layover to West Virginia. So
I'm gonna go with 5.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It depends on what time at night it was when she popped up out of that hole, and was she able to get a red eye? Like, what is she?
Did she bring her credit card? Did she have to borrow Bonnie's Discover card?
Borrow Bonnie's? Bonnie's just helping everybody out.
Sam's like pickpocketing someone along the way, covering her identity.
I think she had her ID and stuff with her because she obviously got her jacket from somewhere. So they spent the time to stop by the locker room, which is like, okay, that's an interesting choice. Like, I guess you need jackets. I don't know. Anyway,
they needed an excuse to put her in that badass leather jacket.
That
she
90s,
so cool, man.
That 90s leather jacket.
She looks so cool.
Good.
My college roommate Erin had a jacket that looked like exactly like that in 2000 in 2001.
Cool.
So it was actually right around that same time too.
That
makes
cool.
perfect sense. Yep. Hey Erin, if you're listening.
Hey girl. Okay.
So we have some fantastic dialogue between Carter, Mayborn, and then O'Neill comes in at the end, which I'll grab that.
All right. We ready?
We're ready.
All right. So I'm sitting down, waiting for a waitress to leave. Carter comes up. So you came to the one person you don't trust.
I don't know how far up the chain of command the infiltration goes. It may well be contained within the SGC, but if General Hammond was compromised...
He sounded fine to me on the phone.
What?
He called me, Major. Calm down. He's concerned for you. That's all.
I told you we have a foothold situation.
Major, a chemical spill causing paranoid delusions is indefinitely more plausible to me than aliens taking over the SGC.
She rubs her face. She's like, oh... My God, you don't think I can tell the difference between the two? What was I thinking?
She stands up, turns to walk away, but sees something that makes her stop in her tracks. Colonel O'Neill and Daniel are standing behind her, both wearing dark sunglasses. And Jack says, "Oh, hi, Carter."
Carter turns around, just glares at Mayborn, walks over, leans over in his face, and says, Mayborn, you're an idiot every day of the week. Why couldn't you have just taken one day off?
It's my favorite line.
I am bound and determined to use that on somebody someday.
So
Like,
good. We need the TikTok, Rebecca.
I have made that
Mhm.
TikTok before.
You have?
Yeah, it's been a
need to
long
find it.
time, but I made that one. Yep.
Can we also appreciate the fact that in their world, even though she doesn't report directly to him, that's basically like she's saying that to her boss. He is above her in rank. That is someone that is her boss and could give her orders. So, like, could you imagine saying that shit to your boss?
Yeah, yes.
If it's Mayborn, probably. Like,
Truly, yeah.
she already, like all of them, has pretty strong feelings about him. So she probably hated that was literally the only person she could call.
Yeah. She's like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
So O'Neill and Daniel give her the same story Fraser gave Teal'c about the chemical and that she's hallucinating and paranoid. Sam doesn't trust them, but if they are imposters, they're really good ones. Jack is very like O'Neill-y here. Like he says tetrachloroethylmermaline stuff, and he's still bitching about water in his ear. This is all very Jack-like. And Daniel is like his normal. They're not weird. They're not like acting strange. They're not speaking differently. It's very convincing. So Sam knows that she was injected with something, and Jack explains it away that they were trying to sedate her because she was going nuts. Now, okay, I know gaslighting is an overused word and people use it incorrectly, or it's like this overused buzz, but this is truly like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
this is they're gaslighting. They're like, you're crazy. You're literally hallucinating and paranoid.
This is
and having
overt
delusions.
gaslighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and if we are to believe like that they are who they are, like let's pretend for an instant that this is the real Jack and this is the real Daniel, which we don't know. It could be. Her friends and peers are not listening to her, and they're completely invalidating her feelings, invalidating what she saw. And actually, she didn't even see the aliens like Teal'c did. Only Teal'c saw the aliens in their true form. Well, actually, I lied.
She
Saw them
screen.
through she saw them through the screen.
Which
So-
is like, I don't know. I feel like that's an argument against the hallucination too. Like I saw them on a screen, not like in front of me. Like
Right.
little.
So they're really making her question herself and think, am I wrong? Am I really like hallucinating? Are they right? They're acting like themselves. They're very convincing. They're not acting like weird cockroach aliens. So she's surrounded by, and also this is another layer. It's a 7-layer burrito from Taco Bell. We've got the gaslight layer, and next we have she's surrounded by a group of men telling her she's actually delusional because of a chemical spill. How many times have we experienced that shit?
Oh,
Surrounded
God.
coming from a man or a group of men saying that we're wrong, we're crazy, and like
I got no comment.
I'm told it was only a chemical spill almost every day.
I mean, I live that life, so don't gotta tell me. I know. Whew.
I remember.
Rough out there.
Here's a side story because I was digging deep.
God,
This was
I love Sarah.
this was
You did
in
this episode.
ninth
This is
grade.
like your episode. I love this. You're super prepared. You have all the good stories ready for this one.
This is marinating. So I was in 9th grade. This is how deep this shit goes. 14-year-old me. I was in like this career preparation class, and we were split up into group projects. We all love group projects, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even remember like how many people that like, I just remember this one fucking guy. And it was like this team building exercise where we were given all of these like kind of word or real life problems. And one of them was, okay, you're stranded in the wilderness. It's nighttime and the temperature is rapidly decreasing. Here's a list of all of these things. You can only pick 5 of them. And on the list, there were things like blankets, a lighter with no fluid, matches, a bottle of whiskey, a sterno, things like that, right? And this fucking guy, well, the whiskey should be on there. And I'm thinking, like, why? That's not helpful. Like, getting drunk is not going to help this, or drinking alcohol. Oh, no, it'll warm you up. It warms you so you can stay warm. And I'm even 14-year-old me.
Makes you feel warm, but it's doing the opposite.
Correct. Even 14-year-old me was like, that sounds fucking fake. But of course, like, I'm in a group and I'm just like, okay, whatever, like, fine, put it on the list. So of course, when the teacher, who is also a woman, explains, okay, you would have wanted the blankets, the sterno, the matches, like things that would actually be helpful. He even argues with the teacher and it's like, well, what about the whiskey? That would have kept you warm. And she explained, actually, the only way to like warm yourself by intaking fluids is if the fluid is actually warm, like a soup or like a hot tea. That's the only way that it would keep you warm. The whiskey itself is going to be that like cold temperature because it can't freeze. So it's going to be like what? However cold it is outside. It's not going to actually warm you. And then, if I'm not mistaken, intaking alcohol will actually dehydrate you anyway.
It messes with your body temperature too. So just alcohol, the fact that it is alcohol will mess with your body temperature.
So even 14-year-old me was letting my own instincts be invalidated and made to feel like I was wrong. And I didn't have the words or vocabulary except for like, that sounds fake, to kind of like stand up for myself. Another thing was we had to like try and list out like the most record-breaking profitable companies. So this was like in the mid 2000s, like 2006 or 7. And of course, because he's a cool guy that smokes Newports, he put Newport on the list. It wasn't anywhere on the list. Walmart was number 1.
Yeah, if it's after 2000, no tobacco is going to be on that list.
So to this day, I think about...
Yeah, he's awful.
Yeah.
He's awful.
To this day, I think about... And I'll follow up on... Because I'll tell you later. I don't want to put it on the internet, but like...
Okay, later.
He's not doing so hot now.
There it is.
But anyway, like, I just think back to all of those times where it was like I was made to feel completely invalidated in my thoughts, and I just completely denied my instincts or what I was thinking because, well, I'm made to feel like I'm wrong for whatever reason, even though I knew I wasn't. But I'm sure we all have stories like that.
Oh god, yeah. Oh
So-
yeah, I won't go into mine, but yeah.
So we have more dialogue. Mayborn, O'Neill. There's a Daniel in here too. I'll grab the O'Neill and the one Daniel.
Okay. Mayborn says, Major Carter, you will accompany us back to the base. If you resist, you will be handcuffed.
No, she won't.
Well, this is all very touching, but I think this very conversation in this very public place is evidence that Major Carter, in her current state, is something of a security risk.
What's the matter with you? And then Daniel says, it's starting to wear off, isn't it? You're starting to think straight. That's exactly what happened to me.
I'm so tired.
And Jack says, we're going to go now. I'd like you to come with, but it's up to you. This is another manipulation tactic. They are being so kind and so understanding. So of course she's going to think like, I'm going nuts. They're being so nice to me. They're being so understanding. They're not being forceful. They're not acting like hostile. So maybe I am hallucinating. Maybe there is something wrong with me.
Also, Mayborn acknowledges the Sam and Jack shippers out there. Just saying. Well, this is all very touching.
Cute, but
Cute, but can you stop, please?
He is the shithead in the situation when he's actually the only one that can really help.
Right.
He's
The
being a
other ones
shithead.
are like manipulating her, but that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
He's
He's
taking
just an
their
idiot.
word over hers, and he's the worst. Yeah, basically.
oh yeah. Oh,
You're
yeah.
our
he's just
only
like-
hope, Mayborn, even though you're the worst.
Yeah.
You're only
Damn it! How many times has that happened too? Come on.
God damn it. Oh gosh.
So she reluctantly agrees to go with them. Cut back to the SGC infirmary. Fraser and Hammond are still with Teal'c. Fraser apologizes that she can't undo his restraints. He could still relapse. That sounds fake. He can relapse from being poisoned by, I don't know, sounds fake. So Hammond gets a call notifying him that Sam is on the way, and the facade immediately drops.
The mask comes off.
Really, like,
She's like,
Fraser, The
So-
Kubrick stare.
I loved because she's just like Fraser straight to Teal'c is like, then we may begin experimenting immediately. Like I just like she's just like
It's the mad,
Super
the mad
cold.
evil scientist.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. And it switches so quick because they're being so kind and patient. And I'm so sorry,
And then it's
Teal'c.
like-
Are you sure you can't remember? Okay, we're going to experiment right now, bitch. Fine. Like, just so quick.
not a pause.
So, cut to the interior of the plane. Our tax dollars at work, as O'Neill says. They're discussing the chemical spill, and we see Sam take note that Mayborn has a sidearm in the back of his belt. Not very good gun safety, I don't think. That's not in a real holster. They're just shoving it down his ass. I don't
I
know.
think he had a holster on it around it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of a weird place to me. I don't know.
It is. I guess it's like because he had his, like dress uniform on, and he's
Yeah.
also a dick, so of course he's gonna have a gun on him anyway.
He wants it shown. He wants it to be
He's just a
known.
dick, yeah.
Yeah. So she sees Jack flicker and momentarily become one of the aliens before returning to his normal self. She pulls Mayborn's pistol and points it at the imposter Jack.
Pouts it. I love that you put pouts it at imposter Jack.
Spell check.
Pouts. She pouts.
I
it.
never claimed to be good at spelling, okay?
I just like I envision her with like the gun and be like, Jack. Jack.
Stop it right now.
Stop it.
So Jack, okay, hold on. I skipped a part. So Jack and Daniel remain calm and completely unbothered, and they're just like, "Whoa, you're hallucinating again." Can you drop? Like, they're laying it on thick, and then she kind of like looks at Daniel real quick and points the gun towards him, and then Jack lunges at her and she shoots him. He screams, like he screeches this awful inhuman screech, and the two wounds on his chest begin to seep purple blood. The alien is dead, and it reverts back to its normal self. And then Daniel and Mayborn look at the alien's body in horror. Carter approaches and then turns the gun on Daniel. Daniel is shocked.
Shocked face, like,
When you think about it, though, honestly, the actual character of Daniel is not really in this episode much. He's in the beginning and the end, and then Michael Shanks is playing other
people.
character. He's
Yeah.
playing. Okay, I'm Sam, who's actually looking like Daniel. Like he's not himself. And I thought about this, and I bet the reason why is so they wouldn't have to use a green screen. If she doubled as O'Neill, they would have had to use a green or use Daniel instead of Jack.
Smart.
In the other situation.
Mhm.
So that's the only reason I could think of them doing it that way. So Mayborn tells Sam to check the pilot, but she doesn't trust him. And to gain her trust, he pulls out a pocket knife and cuts his hand. The blood is red. So she gives Mayborn the pistol. Oh shit, I skipped a spot. Please hold.
Yeah,
Okay.
Major David.
Daniel is shocked. I forgot. He's shocked. Sam tells him to sit down, and the cockpit door opens, and we see our bestie, Major Davis, step out of hiding. Love him. And he raises his gun as Daniel is sitting. But
And he makes a crazy sound.
yeah, he does that like screech thing again. It's
Mhm.
like Xena, but scarier.
Not good.
It's like Xena, but not.
Not but
Like if she was a giant roach lady. So so Mayborn sees Bestie come out of the cockpit, and he warns Sam, and Davis does the same screechy thing, and Carter shoots him twice, and he also reverts to his cockroachy horseshoe crab self. So shooting guns on airplanes, questionable. I don't think that's smart. Pressurized cabin and stuff. I don't claim to be smart, but
I think
I know that's not a good
Mythbusters
idea.
determined that it would take a lot.
really?
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw Mythbusters on that.
I just saw a TikTok that was like, anyone who was growing up in the early 2000s. Hey, I saw an episode of Mythbusters that actually disproved that whole thing.
Yeah, the cell phone thing too. But that was early 2000s cell phones. I don't know about these days. There's a lot more going on in between.
Yeah. So Back on level 23, we see what has actually been going on. We zoom in on Jack. He is waking up. His face is covered by a spider-like mask, and a headband runs across his forehead. Dozens of other people are around him, all hanging from the ceiling by glowing purple ribbons. It looks like jellyfish. Hammond is next to him. Jack tries to wake him to no avail. Cut to the plane again. Carter is inspecting the dead aliens. She sees a small button attached to the alien skin by some sort of goo. It's really sticky. And pulls it off, inspecting it. They put some heat on the imposter Daniel, but he doesn't cave in. He's still acting all innocent. Sam sees a small circular device on the alien's chest and removes it. She checks Daniel, and he also has a similar device on his chest. Wah wah, you little phony. We found you out. She pulls it off, and the image of Daniel fades away. The alien returns to its normal state. Sam places the device on her open palm and transforms into Daniel. The alien lunges for her, but Mayborn shoots it, injuring it, but not killing it. The device only creates an image, and she couldn't hear Daniel's thoughts. She holds up the button she removed earlier and assumes this one links Daniel's mind. So that's how they were so convincing. They were actually linked to their mind and were able to access, or maybe it helped program them to act as if, give them all the mannerisms.
Almost like an AI generation of like, here, we're going to give you all this data to work with. Let's put a prompt in and give us something pretty close.
Yeah. So we have, this is just Carter and like a little one Mayborn. So you guys can read that.
Yep.
This is Carter getting to do the sciencey thing.
Yeah.
So, I wonder what caused their images to blink out.
They were just sitting there. Now put it down.
Something interrupted both signals at the same time, Colonel. We should figure out what it was.
We were leveling off. Cabin pressure.
No, this is electronic. It was more like interference. Noise from the engines, maybe? If we can replicate the conditions, sir, we can find it.
I love when her wheels start spinning.
Yep.
And she's like,
already
"Ooh."
like the whole time she's just standing there with the thing too. She's just like the
Right.
whole time just
Like there's no trauma. There's no trauma at all. It's just science.
Science.
Validation. I was
Yeah.
right, bitch. Too, like, I told you I wasn't crazy. And even Mayborn is still kind of combative. And he was like, well, we were leveling off. Cabin pressure. I don't know. Like, maybe he's just in shock that he was bamboozled and this shit is really happening.
He probably was of the opinion that the simplest explanation was probably the true one, but it's like also like, yeah, but which person talked to you first? Like, come on, you should at least. But again, this is Mayborn, and as Nell pointed out in the comments earlier, this is just this is how you excuse Mayborn.
We've already established he did not take this day off, so
he's an idiot every day of the week,
racking up the overtime.
Yep.
So cut back to level 23. Jack is still in his harness, trying to escape, bumping into Hammond. It's like Newton's cradle. He's like bumping into Hammond, then Hammond like shakes, and he's like trying to steady him and be like, "Whoops!" But someone else wakes up, and it's our bestie, Major Davis. Before anything else can happen, the doors open. They go limp, pretend to be unconscious. Dr. Fraser enters, wheeling an airman onto the room. She's accompanied by a human lookalike and an alien. So they feed the unconscious airman into the large shell-like machine. The airman emerges out the other side, attached to the ribbons.
Alien copy machine. Yep.
Copy paste. Control C, Control V. So Dr. Fraser removes the device that came through the machine, placing them on her alien companion.
Thanks, Nell. That Mayborn is a workaholic.
Oh god.
Love it. So she places the alien device on the chest, and now the alien assumes it. So this is how they're copying them. They shove them through. It's kind of like the Christmas tree netting, but not as fun.
That thing. Yep.
So the ribbons pull the airmen to the ceiling with the other prisoners. Also, they're like jolly jumpers for grown-ups. That looks kind of fun, actually. Fraser turns to leave and then suddenly looks up. O'Neill returns his face to the holder, closing his eyes as she scans the prisoners. She looks at them all over, sees nothing amiss, and walks from the room. So she's kind of like onto them, maybe. Cut to the infirmary. They're experimenting on poor Teal'c and a symbiote. Like, they have the symbiote, like, in this weird, like, vice thing.
Mhm.
Hammond tells her to wrap it up because Sam is approaching and she just might be easier to get information from. Like, they probably think, like, oh, they convinced her that she's going bananas and, you know, it'll be easier to get info out of her. Jack and Davis finally figure out how to get out of their harnesses. It was actually really funny because Jack, he finds how to get out. He falls like a ton of bricks. He just like clunks to the floor.
And they're what, like 20 feet up, 15 feet up?
They're pretty far up, yeah.
Yeah.
I think from their feet, probably 10. Yeah. From like the bottom of their feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's trying to find Davis among the other prisoners and tell him, like, hey, the latch for that thing is, and then Davis just falls to the floor. He's like, oh, never mind, you found it. So Jack questions why they're the only ones awake, and he goes for Janet and tries to wake her. He removed the headband, but this weird alarm sounds. Imposter Fraser enters. Jack takes her by surprise and punches her.
No, wait, first, no, he puts it back first, though. Like, the alarm goes off and he goes, oh, shit, and, like, puts it back on her head. But then she comes anyway. Like, she's already heard it. So, because he's like, I hope maybe nobody noticed that. Like,
No, they did.
But I wonder if that was just like an alarm for that headband, because wouldn't you think if an alarm really went off like that, others would come running too? Or did it just alert the imposter Fraser?
Maybe it was, maybe it like was in the room, but it also imposter Fraser, because it's almost like she just like, she could tell that the connection wasn't there anymore. So like she turns around and like,
oh, that's true.
But he just puts it back on. Like
dude, let it, like, keep it off.
We'll just put it back on there. Like,
he like sticks
keep
it
the
back
drama
on.
going.
So the alarm sounds, imposter Fraser enters, and Jack is waiting kind of like right at the door so he can sneak up behind her, and he clocks her in the face.
He punches
and he's just
the
like,
shit out of her.
it's like, that was weird. Cut to the forest outside the SGC. Sam, disguised as Daniel, enters the escape tunnel. Cut back to level 23. Davis and Jack are searching alien Fraser for weapons. So at this point, she still looks like Fraser. Do you guys want to read this?
I'll be Davis.
Okay.
I think it's just like the one thing.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but it was really funny.
Yeah, okay. So Davis says, what about the other thing?
The other thing. Okay. She's just an alien.
He touches the collar of her lab jacket, then begins to loosen her blouse.
Just an alien.
So, okay, this was such a little thing, but the bar is in hell. So this is why I noticed it. I'm so glad they put it here, because they could have easily bypassed this awkward encounter by making it more sterile or matter of fact, like, we gotta see where it is. Or they could have made it gross and nasty and like creepy, misogynistic grossness.
Yeah, she actually had her undershirt on, like, too, and like it was glowing through the undershirt. So like they didn't do the like. Yeah,
she's wearing a Wonder Bra underneath that. Like,
right?
Yeah.
No, she actually looked like she was in regulation clothing. So.
Yeah. So they highlight that Jack is legitimately uncomfortable unbuttoning the unconscious imposter Fraser shirt. He, even if that unconscious woman is a humanoid roach alien at heart.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know why that like stuck with me, of like, wow, they could have made this nasty, but they didn't. And they actually kind of like leaned into it. It was like, this is not cool, unbuttoning an unconscious lady shirt.
They've come a long way since what's the episode in the first season where they turned into cavemen?
Broke a Divide.
Broke a Divide. They've come a long way since Broke a Divide. When it's like Sam's like in this like cut off, like yeah.
Anyway, the bar is in hell, as we've established. So he finds that circular image generator. I made that name up, by the way, and stopped calling it the device. And removed it. And Fraser reverts to her alien form. And Jack is like, yep, that's an alien, all right. Kind of relieved. And then the door opens and Sam Daniel enters. She removed the image generator and shows that
Before
she
she
is
does,
Sam.
though, we get to have a little bit of like Shanks as Sam fun times because Sam has apparently forgotten
Yeah,
that she's looks like Daniel.
yeah.
Oh god,
And
Well,
so,
and
so it's just Shanks being Sam, which is fun.
that's funny. Yeah.
he does. I do like that his acting in this. He kind of feminizes his voice more. I
He
don't know if
does.
you
He
guys
sounds
on it.
like his inflections and everything are very much her.
Yeah.
It's not just the words, because yeah, of course, she uses his rank and says "sir," and that's in
Yes.
the dialogue. But it's more than the dialogue. It's definitely all the inflections and the tone and everything
Yes.
too.
It
Yep.
was very good, very subtle and believable, and I really liked that part of
Mhm.
it. So we have some more dialogue. Carter, O'Neill,
And
and a
tiny
little bit of
one Davis
Davis.
line.
I got the Davis.
I got O'Neill.
I got Carter.
Okay.
Every one of the people in this room have been duplicated by the aliens, sir.
I look at Fraser. Notice that.
The procedure didn't work on me or Teal'c. We escaped, but Teal'c's been captured.
Where's he?
I don't know. I haven't had time to find him, sir. Look, Colonel Mayborn's forces are moving in soon.
Mayborn? How'd he get?
I called him.
Willingly?
Carter checks her watch. Colonel, in 29 minutes, those forces are going to break down the front door and shoot anything that resists. We need to help our people. We need to get our people disconnected.
Yeah, I pulled that headband thing off of Fraser. Her evil twin came running.
Well, how did you two get free?
We just woke up.
It must have happened when I killed you.
I'm sorry?
I killed the aliens impersonating both of you on the plane.
And they don't know you did this?
I don't know, sir. There's a specific tone that, if sustained, will disrupt these devices. The machine's in my lab.
Go.
She's just like, "Look, the machines, should I just do the thing? Like, let's go."
I killed you too, by the way.
What's that happened when I killed you?
Sorry. So she transforms into Daniel again and heads to her lab. Davis and Jack head to the armory. Sam gets the frequency machine ready. Jack finds where they're holding Teal'c. This was also really cute, this dialog between O'Neill and Teal'c. Do you guys want to read that?
Sure.
Yeah. Which one do you want to be?
I'll be Teal'c.
Okay. O'Neill says, I've come for the bald prisoner.
I've come for the ball prisoner.
The guard begins to unlock the door, and O'Neill raises his eyebrows, surprised when his plan works. The open door, and he enters, approaching Teal'c with a Zat in his hand. Teal'c is sitting on his bed. His right arm is bandaged.
You will come with me.
I will submit to no further experiments.
Oh, but you will.
Teal'c looks at him, and O'Neill cocks his eyebrow to the guards.
I'll take it from here.
I can't allow that, sir.
Oh, but you can.
And he zats them both and takes their pocket, rifles through their pockets, whatever.
Colonel O'Neill, I presume.
And then we cut to commercial. Just kidding. It was just a weird cut that a commercial would go if we were in the 1990s. So, Sam gets her frequency thing right, but imposter Hammond bursts into the lab and clocks her. Luckily, he shifts back to his alien self, so we don't have to see Hammond punching Sam.
A lot of people get the shit punched out of them in this episode.
He really
that's
lays
a
on
rough
there.
They
one.
like that melee. They like that, like,
We were like, hey, we already showed Jack punching Janet. We don't want to see Hammond punching Sam, too. That's enough ladies getting punched by, human-looking men for one episode. So, the jig is up, and the aliens are getting out of here. They know. And the head alien is pissed that it takes so long to dial the gate. Like, they start to dial the gate, and he just, screeches. Like, why is this dial-up internet taking so long? This is bullshit. So as they're dialing the gate more, the leader lets out a louder shriek, which summons the others. And we have this, I'll just go through real quick, but Teal'c assumes, okay, they're evacuating. And Sam is like, we can't let that happen because they've had access to our minds. They'll know everything about us. And they're like, oh shit. So they succeed in dialing the gate. A decent amount of them make it through and escape. They can't close the iris because it's been overridden, so they have to shut down the gate. They close the blast doors so no other aliens can get into the gate room. Mayborn's team enters and the control room and orders everyone to show their hands right as the gate disengages.
Mayborn's had a nice costume change.
He has.
Yeah.
It looks weird. I don't like it.
Mm-mm.
I'm used to seeing him in his like dress blues.
Yeah, his dress blues.
Yeah.
Or civvies, as we go along.
True. Yeah. He also has a leather jacket, I think.
Mhm.
Anyway, one alien, apparently the leader, looks up at the control room and grunts angrily. He walks to the ramp, turning his face to the windows, and turns something on his chest before it begins speaking. O'Neill, apparently having heard enough, lowers one of his hands to slap a button. The blast doors lower. When the doors are almost in place, a brilliant flash explodes in the gate room everywhere. Everyone is forced to shield their eyes, turning away from the flash. O'Neill hits the button again. The blast doors slowly rise, revealing the gate room. The aliens have self-destructed. And we're like, okay, well, fine. We're just going to kill ourselves. Carter stands examining the damage. Black soot marks, black walls, and the gate. Smoke is rising from the remains of the alien beings as ash falls from the ceiling. And Jack is like, just a coat of paint, a little touch-up, it'll be fine.
I love it. Smart ass.
So cut to the briefing room. This is where like we get our actual plot dump. It's at the end. I kind of like it. A little mix up here instead of at the beginning. So there's a lot of people. We'll probably have to like double up and take two because there's like a little gap in between and then it picks right up again.
I can do a Daniel Davis.
I'll do an O'Neill Mayborn.
Carter and Teal'c then?
Sure.
There's a hammy in there too, but just
And
one.
Fraser.
Yeah.
I'll be Carter, Hammond, and Teal'c because there's like one Teal'c line too.
Okay, and then I can take the Fraser also.
We got
Okay.
it. We ready? We got it.
Okay. Whoever's Hammond, take
I
it
got
away.
I've ordered P3X118 locked out of our dialing program. The human counterparts of those aliens woke up spontaneously. We're assuming the signal stopped when they went through the Stargate. Stop, Cristina. Those who escaped still possess the knowledge they obtained from being leaked to.
You're a one-woman show. Jack says, that's creepy.
We changed all our codes. That's all we can do.
So how did this happen exactly? The aliens came through the gate already impersonating SG-6.
We rushed.
We did not plan this well.
We rushed them to the infirmary. We don't remember anything after that.
General Hammond asked me to come here, but he wouldn't say why. Presumably, their next step after the SGC was the Pentagon.
Well, a high-frequency blast from the harmonic generator every time a team returns should prevent it from happening again.
So then Mayborn enters the briefing room. Jack gives him credit for a nice save. And then Mayborn says, I thought you'd like to know the alien posing as Dr. Jackson expired.
What of the aliens that were not caught in the gate room explosion?
We're guessing they were linked to the leader in some form or another when he self-destructed.
What about the aliens that escaped through the gate?
I guess we'll never know. We'll have to hope the same thing happened to them. And then...
Oh, we appreciate your help on this matter, Colonel Mayborn.
Credit Major Carter. I do. And they look shocked. Oh my god. Jack says... Or, I'm sorry. I don't know who's saying this. Mayborn. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again. And Jack says, that'd be nice, Harry. Mayborn looks surprised at the use of his first name, looks at Carter. She nods at Mayborn and returns the gesture. Mayborn leaves. Carter looks down at the table and looks at O'Neill, smiling proudly. He might be a shithead, but he gives credit where credit is due. We go from Sam being gaslit and disbelieved to finally getting the credit she is owed.
Mm-hmm. I
It
love
was
it.
a good episode.
The end.
I do enjoy Foothold. It's a solid, like, I don't know which one I'm feeling like. Oh, let's put on Foothold. Like, it's one of
Yeah.
those episodes for me. So,
Yeah. This was like, this area of season 3 is my comfort kind of like, I can name, we got Foothold, Pretense, Ergo, 100 Days. Like, I can name those episodes in a row because I've seen them so much, like on the list, the DVD list or whatever.
You lost me at the last one.
Sorry. I don't think I really watched that one much, but that was on the disc.
It's the 4 that's on the one disc. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you gave us some nice tropes. Well, let's go over some of them.
Yeah, I mean, I originally looked up body snatcher trope, but it's not really body snatchers. So it's more like alien invasion. So I pulled up that trope, and it's basically one of the oldest in speculative fiction. Beings come from space and come to Earth to conquer. There are a few ways it can go. They said there's the all-out attack, the infiltration, or the combination of above. So this one kind of falls into the infiltration section, where humans controlling humans in order to take over from within, and they're everywhere. The populace doesn't even know what's happening, blah blah blah. So like I feel like we've seen this in a lot of entertainment. There is the invasion of the body snatchers. There's also, oh gosh,
Is that the one with Donald Sutherland where he's like that?
They've made a few versions of that, I think, but yeah. There's Men in Black.
Yeah,
with
Edgar.
Edgar suit.
Oh, he was a
Edgar
rogue.
suit. Yep, that's very much feels a lot like the similar vibe. So that's your alien invasions trope. And the next one is the whole reason I put tropes on here is the reason you suck speech. That is a
okay.
trope.
Elaborate.
I'm gonna pull it up because I
That's a
think we
good
all
one.
know, but like it's when someone delivers a speech to another character on all the reasons why that other character sucks or is a horrible person. There are several contexts in which this can happen. So a villain addresses a hero addresses a villain to another villain, blah blah blah. One thing all 7 types of speech have in common is that the speaker has a point, even if they're villains. So like whoever is making the speech, everybody goes like, well, they're not wrong,
Like
So-
Magneto when he is like,
yeah, I have a Magneto was right t-shirt now. So
love it.
Oh my god, I do too.
I got it. Yeah, I got a purple.
I ordered mine too.
I like how included in this list of like all these different examples for subpages, there's like a whole professional wrestling section. And I think that makes perfect sense because most of the speeches in professional wrestling are the reason you suck speech, basically.
I wouldn't have thought about that.
But a lot of times when like villains are monologuing or things like that, it's this whole the reason you suck speech. And Sam just gets it in really quick and succinctly with Mayborn, like the whole you've just taken one day off thing. There's even an example for My Little Pony friendship is magic.
Wait, what? I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. In that link you sent, let me.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I need to look at how far down in the article.
It's in the example subpage. It's not a very long article. If you just scroll down to the example subpages, there's My Little Pony.
Okay, hold on a second.
Trixie and Rainbow, apparently.
We are very big My Little Pony fans here.
So it's Trixie speaking to Rainbow about the reason you suck speech.
She's not in the Rainbow Dash, by the way. Trixie's not in the mood to hear Rainbow Dash's harassment of her and calls her out on not being similar. Interesting. Oh, Rainbow Dash definitely is doing the gaslighting. Oh yeah, at least I can live up to what I say. You're all bark, no bite. Oh no, Rainbow Dash is doing it. Don't let your muzzle make boast. Don't let your muzzle make boast your magic can't back up. Oh, those are some good ones. I'll go down that. I'll share that with Ryder. But it's interesting. That I wouldn't think about that being in there. But so the idea of that trope is that it's, so I understand it correctly, is calling out things that are all already obvious to the audience member. Like it's not a newfound.
And I
like,
think it's also
proclamation.
they
It's
are
like, oh.
accurate. Even if it's like the trope page says, even if it's the villain to the hero, you still are like, well, they got a point there. Like, yeah, I get it. You're a terrible person, but I get it. In our case, it was Sam to Mayborn, but like, yeah.
Interesting.
And then the third one I chose to drop in there was just the teeth clenched teamwork. Where you have to work with the person. That happens in a lot of different, movies and TV as well. Like, I hate this person, but I got to work with them. It
Mhm.
happens in real
Oh,
life a
yeah.
lot too. So
Truly, yeah. So, my contribution to the themes and discussion comes from all places, but an interview of Oprah. I love Oprah. And I actually found this on TikTok first. So to all the haters and losers that are anti-TikTok, you can learn a lot from there. Anyway,
looking at you, Montana.
yeah.
Mm.
Anyway,
Not
Boo,
till
tomato,
boo, tomato, tomato, boo.
boo.
Not till January, but still.
Mm-hmm.
so I included the link, and I was gonna play a clip, but I don't want I'm sure Oprah has an army of lawyers, and I don't want to get
Yeah, I wouldn't
demonetized or
do
whatever. Not that we make money off of this YouTube, but anyway, I don't want to get
want it to be
copyright
banned.
claimed.
Yeah.
So because YouTube actually has the transcript option, so give me a second. I have a lot of excerpts and I'm going to break some of them down. So
please do.
to be clear, she was interviewing an author named Gavin DeBecker, and he is an American author and security specialist primarily for governments and large corporations and public figures. So he knows a thing or two about security. And he wrote a book called The Gift of Fear: Survival Signals That Protect Us from Violence, and it's a nonfiction self-help book. So I'm focusing on Sam's experience here, particularly how she is made to feel crazy, delusional, they're discrediting her, they're not believing her. And the book demonstrates how every individual should learn to trust their inherent gift of their gut instinct. By learning to recognize various warning signs and precursors to violence, it becomes possible to avoid potential trauma and harm. Now, I want to clarify, this is in no way victim blaming, because there's some questions in here that kind of might sound like it, but it's a way to have people analyze your own. Don't ignore your own gut instinct. We're not blaming you because you did the wrong thing, but we want you to follow your gut instinct. So here's an excerpt from the interview with Oprah. And again, the whole video is 40. It's like the whole episode on YouTube. I'm surprised it's on there because you can't really find it. It's really good. So, or just search it on TikTok if you want the bite-sized version of it.
Okay.
So Gavin DeBecker says, I've done this for 30 years. Ask people after they were victimized, was there anything you knew? Was there anything you felt beforehand? And most people say to me, no, it came out of nowhere. And then if I'm quiet, if I take a breath, here come all the details. I did know when I met that guy. I did know when I walked into that parking lot. I did have a feeling when such and such. And we're just like every other creature on Earth. We get a signal prior to violence. There are pre-incident indicators, things that happen before violence occurs. So I think we can all relate to that. It's I think I want to take the long way. I'm going to walk the long way home. Or that guy is giving me a weird vibe. So Oprah says, so this is a show about using that intuition to save your life. And one of the things I remembered from The Gift of Fear, never forgot it. So to clarify, she had this guy on before. This is the 10-year anniversary of the book. So she's bringing him back again. So she's talking about, I remembered from The Gift of Fear, never forgot it, is that you were saying that we're like all other creatures. Every other creature, we're the only creature that will sense the danger and walk right into it. All other animals sense that danger and back out. And DeBecker says, yeah, the great example of that is, which we all recognize, you're in a hallway waiting for an elevator late at night. Elevator doors open and there's a guy inside and he makes you afraid. You don't know why. You don't know what it is. Some memory of this building, whatever it may be. And many women will stand there and look at that guy and say, oh, I don't want to think like that. I don't want to be that kind of person. Who lets the door close in his face? I don't want to hurt his feelings. I've got to be nice. I don't want him to think I'm not nice. And so human beings will get into a steel soundproof chamber with someone they're afraid of. And there's not another animal in nature that will even consider it. So he goes on again. There's no question this is what the culture teaches, which is that women have to be nice all the time. You have to engage. If I say something to you in public, you have to respond. You can't be a bitch. You can't be mean. Yeah, and the fact is that men at core are afraid that women will laugh at them, and women at core are afraid that men will kill them, and often believe that if you're not nice, you increase the likelihood of danger. and risk, when in fact, the exact opposite is true. It's when you're nice that you open up and give information, that you engage with someone you don't want to talk to. Here, she doesn't want to let someone into the store, and for fear of being perceived as not nice, she does. So that's just some clips from this interview. They actually like interview a couple different people about like how like they went through something, whether it was like someone was breaking into their house, it was something that had to do with a relationship, and they look back and it's like, did you have any feelings? Did you sense anything beforehand that you ignored? And they talk about it, and that gut instinct that we're so trained by society to ignore. Oh my God, you don't want to be mean. You don't want to be a bitch. You have to be polite. But that gut instinct is that survival instinct.
Well, what's
And-
interesting? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So what's interesting about that is like I feel like that's, and probably where we're going, it's like it's the exact platform and that nature, that space, that's that special recipe, that perfect storm for then that layered abuse of gaslighting to come in, where people go, aha, I can take advantage of this. Take advantage of people's like societal like, oh, I should be kinder, and I can kind of use that to start weaving this narrative, because I can lean in that she's gonna at least be kind about it. She's gonna at least take a moment. She's gonna at least like question it instead of that hard line.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, like, and how it relates to like what they were doing with Sam, or even Sam's responses to it, were like how they wrote that to happen. But it's all just a societal construct. It's that like systemic misogyny that just permeates everywhere, that we're
I
so
really-
conditioned.
Highly recommend to everyone to just enter your villain phase right now and don't
Oh,
worry
yeah.
about
Oh,
being nice to everybody. And here's the thing, whether you like it or not, it's going to come as you get older, because you just
yeah.
stop caring. Like you just stop
Oh.
caring.
Yeah.
But, like my friend Tyler sent me this meme, and the quote was, "How do you sleep at night knowing that there are people out there that don't like you?" And the answer was, "With the fan on." Like,
Medium.
But it's like so true.
you know, like
Well, because it's like the minute I stopped giving my ex-husband like access to my house, like things that I was like being nice about, to like making him, the minute that line in the sand was done, as horrible as the like backlash is, it's still, my peace is not wavered. My peace is there. It's strong. It's empowering. Like regardless, they're gonna fuck with you. So just like have your line in the sand. Just build your protective bubble.
You don't owe people
Don't
that
owe them
kindness.
anything.
You don't owe them any of that. They earn
No.
it. They should have to earn it.
Well,
That trust.
And
So
Kate, some point what I texted you all about yesterday that his parents had done in the state of Florida by going to the news station about X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm not going to be nice in my feelings on that. And I got told I need to be nicer. They were just trying to help. No, absolutely not. I will report them and I will sue them if they pursue it. Like, you have to enter that villain era because it is so liberating. It feels so good.
it's the same thing as like when I tell Bonnie, like sometimes if like I stood up for myself or I did something or I was very forward with somebody or something, she's like, now, and this shows generations of it too. She's like, now you don't want people to seem like, you're a bitch or something. And I've challenged her and she's gotten mad at me every time, but I'm like, would you say that if I were a guy saying the same thing? Like you probably wouldn't. You'd be like,
Right.
that's a strong guy,
Yeah.
So
DeBecker's book is more skewed towards like helping women. It is kind of skewed towards that, like helping women stay safe, but I think it is valuable for all people. Another thing that he said in the Oprah interview is, when men say no, that's end of discussion. When women say no, it's an invitation to open negotiations, which is felt. Thank you. Like I felt that. So even myself personally, I get two main comments about like my appearance. You look tired. I know I've looked tired since I was 8 years old. Thank you. And you look mean. And I think that's just like a defense mechanism. If I look mean and I look unapproachable, then people will leave me alone. When I go walking, I walk like 4 miles on my loop through the neighborhood, sunglasses on, so I don't make eye contact. And when I walk past people, I make sure I keep my head up. I don't look at my phone
But
or like look down.
do you look mean because you're a woman, not like smiling? Because I feel like that's a lot of the time the problem too.
I don't know. I feel it would be
Like you're expected
bizarre
to
if
be
I was
warm to people, and it's like you don't have to be though. Like you just
people
don't
who
have to be.
naturally smile all the time, though. I don't trust that. That's uncanny valley
Oh,
shit.
it's real bad in the South though. Like I can't walk down the street. You have to at least
Like,
go. You have to at least go like,
oh,
hey,
I'm
you know, like,
exhausted.
I don't
Just
even
thinking
know
about
these people. I'm having to say hi. I don't even know them.
All the
Yeah.
time, waving all the
I
time.
couldn't
All the
survive.
time waving. It's just hey, oh hey, it's
I'll
nice
stick with
weather. Yeah,
Stick with
like,
my northeastern assholes. I love
yeah.
these
No,
people up
it's
here.
so much better. It's so much better.
I got
Mm-mm.
Jersey, New York, and Boston around me, and Philly.
Girl, y'all
It's
tough up there.
exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
Another thing that I think about too is how working in customer service has like kind of ruined all sense of boundaries that I have, because at least in the environment that I was in, they don't stand up for you. They basically are like, give the customer whatever they want. We want them to leave the store happy. So, and I mean, it was a grocery store, so it's not like we can give away tons and tons of stuff. Like, as a
Mm.
manager, it was easier, but as like someone working behind a customer service desk and someone bitching at me about like why they can't return a money order, um, I was in an environment that just like encouraged people to walk all over me, and that translates to your personal life a
mhm.
lot. You can't
Mhm.
stand up for yourself at work. You literally can't. You will get fired if you stand up for yourself or go off on a customer who's disrespecting you. You literally have to take that disrespect. You do. And Rebecca, I'm
Mm.
sure it's crazier for like EMTs and people like on the ambulance because
Actually, no, I can kick them off the ambulance.
oh really?
Yeah.
Mm.
I can be like, I'm not
See,
gonna transport you.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and see, we'll
we have
escort
a
people off
problem.
property.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
So
We don't handle the lack of respect in EMS, fortunately. It's like,
that's good.
thankfully. You know, I'll just call the police on you.
Yeah.
Like I will literally just call the cops on you. So
And I know some retailers have a different approach. The one that I
Mhm.
worked for, no, it was do whatever the customer wants.
Retail's the worst.
It's hard, and like, so I've been in a lot of situations that are like what Sarah you're explaining, where it is very much like we have so much at risk, like we're just gonna like give the customer. And even where I work now is very much like we're empowered. This is what I love, and this is something that even in a recent situation with people higher up that happened. So, and this made my brain go, this is how I navigate this. So there's the idea that sure, the customer, we take care of the customer.
Mhm.
But if they are coming in and taking advantage, they're not our customer.
Yeah.
There's a
See-
different line in the sand. When we get to a space where you're manipulating, we don't stand for that. And when that happens, one of the best things that ever happened, I had a store manager kind of in a because she always says yes to everything, always. But there was a situation that was like, absolutely not. We're not doing this anymore. And she, whatever. And it went all the way up to the
Mhm.
people that hold the name.
Yeah.
And she made them aware. And it was so wonderful to hear back this. It sounds like you made the right call. We'll hold the line. And that
See-
line of like, we'll hold the line. And that is everything. I'm like, that is what a company should do. When you do get to that space where you do have to stand your ground because you're not tolerating someone personally coming at you and there are people going, we'll hold the line. Like, that's what, like,
Yeah.
I can never leave this company because I'm like, that culture doesn't exist in retail.
I've had to hold the line in retail, especially with Apple, but I've also had the man, and this is on the individual level. This is not the company.
Mhm.
On the individual level, I've had the manager go, we're going to hold the line. And then when they start talking to the customer, they cave in like 5 seconds.
They got
It's
no
like, come
backbone.
on, man. Like, I thought we had a plan here. Like,
We were aligned. We
yeah.
were to do this. Yeah.
No, I never had that support. It was always
Oh,
like
that sucks.
the worst thing that could happen is if a customer complained to corporate. Corporate doesn't want to hear it. They want us to resolve it at store level. They don't want to hear it. So I've been in the situation where I followed the policy to the letter of the law, and then as the customer was walking out, because I denied them whatever they wanted, they ran into a manager, and the manager turns around and gives them whatever they want. And it's like, you did not stick up for me. You threw me under the bus. You made me look like an asshole.
and this is why customers feel entitled.
And then I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. And it sucks because there's a power dynamic involved. They know they can treat you like absolute shit for the most part. Like if you're in a restaurant or something, like I feel like very rarely do the managers stick up for people. If they do, it's behind the scenes. And I've had to do that too, where it was like, okay, I'm the manager tonight on duty. I have to do whatever the customer wants or I'm going to get in trouble. But as soon as that customer leaves, I look at my associate and I'm like, you were right. And I hate that we had to do that. You were not wrong to do what you did. You were correct. That's just how things are. And I'm really sorry. But even that acknowledgement, I hope, is enough for them to be like, okay, I was right. But in the world,
you're validating, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I think there's that growth and like tying it kind of back to where we're at, like the growth and like how like the show came along, even like stay with me here. Like, so that's how it was.
Wrapping it back.
I'm wrapping it back.
Like all the way back.
I'm wrapping it all the way back. So we think about how like we just complimented like Jack's like progression and treatment towards when it was like the female, like even though it was an alien, like the intentionality there, like, right, like the growth. So in the same way, to just loop what we're just talking about back into this like area that, not the same thing, but growth. I'm making a very long leap of stretch, but it's like the idea of like working for millennial bosses, like as millennial bosses, things go on, as people learn more and they do better. Like I think that dynamic in the customer experience, I think that dynamic in like that industry to customer relationship is changing and has a different tension line. It has a different space. And as millennial bosses continue in this workspace and these like Gen Alphas eventually going to come in there. And right now we got Gen Z, like they're feeling, they get that support. We never got it and it sucks, but like we know how much that sucks. And so to change that landscape, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort and it's going to not be perfect, but there's a shift in there. And from that, we'll cultivate a different customer dynamic. They're not going to be able to be bossy pants all around because they're not going to get what they want. And they're going to kick and scream. They're going to bitch and moan. But it will change. It will evolve. And I think even just like it's a very actually like gaslighting narcissistic relationship that customers try to have in retail environments too. They try to say, well, you said this, you said that. No, I didn't. Don't try to do that. I don't know.
So much clock in. Like, so.
Right.
Well, and kind of like another thing, getting back to like towards the end of my retail career, I did not give a fuck. If I was a manager, sure, whatever you want. Like, I don't care. Before it was very like principled. I was like, no, they are wrong. We should not give them what they want. They're being a petulant child and just like digging their heels in because they want what they want and they want us to give it to them. And towards the end, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I remember one night the bakery was closed. And it was like 9:00 at night. Somebody wanted a sheet cake written on. And I was like, well, I've never done it. I'll give it a try. It's going to look like shit. It looked like shit. Like a kindergartner wrote happy birthday on this cake. It looked terrible. I was like, here's a free cake. It's yours. Take it home. Have a funny story to tell your family.
I love it.
Man, the girl at the grocery store sucked ass and couldn't write, but we got a free cake out of it and some candles and ice cream and stuff. I was like, yeah, give it away. Like if that's how the company wants to be and they don't care about the loss, like at the end of the day, this one situation.
But there'll be a repeat customer. They're going to come back because they're going to be like, okay, that was kind of cool.
But then we had people who completely like gamed the system. And anyway, that whole mentality shifts over to your personal life where you're so used to being walked all over by customers. You end up being walked all over in your personal life and you ignore your instincts. And back to that interview with Oprah and even with Sam in this episode, it's not victim blaming. We're not saying, oh yeah, we gotta go back to that
real fast. Yeah,
we're not victim blaming and saying like you should have thought better. You should have thought better. You should have trusted your instincts. We're saying listen to your instincts. Don't ignore your instincts. They're there for a reason. Worst case scenario, oh my god, you hurt some random person's feelings because you didn't want to get in an elevator with them. Boo fucking who? They'll survive. But anyway, watch that Oprah episode. It was really good. Let's get back to our like
real
out of
quick.
Context.
Top left. We just talk about phone booths and weird like what are we?
Yeah,
what
so
was that one?
That's Carter in the phone booth, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it is.
Phone trying to call home.
Are you trying to figure out where it's from?
No. I'm just trying to like think about like how in nearly every movie or television show when somebody's in a payphone, they do similar poses. That's what I'm thinking about as I'm staring at this.
It's a limited
Oh, wait.
space. There's only so
I
many
have
poses.
never posed like that on a payphone.
Well, yeah, because
I
if
don't
you're
know.
using a payphone in this day and age, it's kind of embarrassing. You're
No,
like,
I
damn.
mean before I'm old, Sarah. I have used a payphone in my past.
Well, because
I
feel
never
like
just
in-
like hung out. Wait, nobody can see me. I've never just like hung out at a payphone. Like,
but I feel like because in that case, it's always in the movies because they're on the look, someone's on the hunt for them, so they got to keep an eye out. Where like
Right.
the other options, like the hood's over, they're like hunkered in, like hey.
right. Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like Sarah, I just keep telling you to watch Jumpin' Jack Flash. There's an amazing payphone scene in that movie. I'm just letting
Okay.
you know. Like,
I
you
gotta
gotta
find
you
it.
gotta find it somehow. You gotta find it. I think you'll love it. Anyway, so on to the raid Max Fogger.
That's obvious. It's the insect.
Well, they look like bugs, but also I kind of made the joke that they used a bug bomb on Teal'c.
On Teal'c,
Bug
yeah.
bomb.
Mm.
They throw the smoking can into the corridor, and
Yep. Yep.
they hit him with the raid.
They hit him with the raid. Bottom left, I think we know all about the fast travel to Washington, D.C. I think it's just a lack of context of how much time has passed, I think,
Yeah.
that makes that like, we don't know, because it looks like it's instantaneous.
Right.
But
That's fast
well,
travel.
maybe not instantaneous, but like, because it is nighttime when she comes out of the chute, like the the hatch.
It could be like honestly 2 a.m. for all we know.
Or earlier, or like even 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Like she could have gotten out of there, somehow managed to avoid all of the other guards and made her way to an airport. I mean, it's still unlikely, but I can see, at least time-wise, it could work. But there are a lot of other factors that would
So,
maybe.
do you guys want a story time on that one of why So last night, John left yesterday. His flight was supposed to leave at 3:00. It didn't. It got delayed. It got canceled. So he had to book he left at 8 p.m., had to go down to Las Vegas, took a 11 p.m. red eye to get to Columbus, Ohio, got there at 6 a.m. and had to drive 2 hours so he could be at his kids' field trip today. And he got there by 9 a.m.
Wow.
So it's possible, but it is stressful. So fast travel is difficult. Possible.
Fast travel is difficult, but possible.
Possible.
And this is one of the only instances of this font that I
that you'll accept.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. I don't think
love
there's
it.
any gatekeeping in here unless we're talking about the Stargate, but there's lots of gaslighting and there's lots of girl bossing. So I thought it was
so good.
That
It's
font
really fun.
specifically is the one that bugs me. That specific, like, handwritten
Eat, love,
font.
pray.
Yeah. Live, laugh.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh,
live, laugh, lesbian.
Live, laugh, love. Yes,
you
the
see
Target ones.
I'm like, damn,
Oh my
that's
God.
funny as hell. I want to buy that.
It's
And I'm
so
not even
good.
gay.
It's
So
good.
all right. Anyway, if you guys want to stick around after the show, my two co-fries, I'll tell you what happened to the 9th grade a-hole.
Yes.
It's juicy.
I can hang for a minute because you guys don't care if I'm doing other things.
No. But yeah, if anybody, just so everybody knows, we'll tag it onto the end too. Please go to our Instagram, like that post, follow us, and put a comment. We've got some likes on it, but we don't have comments right now. So people need to read all the instructions. You need to comment and like and make sure you're following us for that ticket giveaway. I think I'll also just cut out the announcement and make that a separate video for tomorrow too, so that's easier to share around and everything. So,
Nice.
But yeah, do that. We want to give that ticket away. We're very excited that we
able to do this for you.
So yeah, it's exciting. I can close the iris.
Yes, please.
Yes.
I got it. I'm on it.
Ooh,
We ready?
ready.
Mayborn, you're an idiot every day of the week. Why couldn't you just take this one day off and just close the iris?